Hey gamers, Maniac here with GameAccess.net coming at you. We're less than a month away from 2 major console releases this season, and because of that I wanted to prepare you guys who may be interested in picking up one of the new consoles at launch, whether it be a PS4 or an Xbox One. I'm dedicating this week on my site and my YouTube channel to preparing anybody who may be interested in picking up one of these consoles. The previous video that I did on my channel already talked about the Xbox One, so this particular video we're going to be focusing on the PlayStation 4 from Sony. First off the bat, let's just face it, the PlayStation 4 is going to retail at November 15th, 2013 at a retail price of $399 US. That is solid. It's going to be available then. It's going to be $100 less and about a week early than the Xbox One is going to be. And in case you're curious why that is, I think it has to do with the fact that the Xbox One is going to launch, all versions of it are going to launch with the Kinect, or this new version of the Kinect, whereas the PlayStation 4 is not going to have its own Kinect comparable device out of the box. When the PlayStation 4 was first announced back in February, they showed off a new, almost like a 3D PlayStation Eye camera or something like that, that would be used in conjunction with the new DualShock 4 controller. That is not going to be included with the package. While there will be a DualShock 4 included with every PS4, they're like, that PlayStation Eye camera, that 3D camera that they showed, is going to be sold separately, I think for a price between about $60 and $70 US. So just be aware of that. The new controller is very similar from far away with every DualShock controller that has come before it. However, there is a lot more going on with this new DualShock controller than meets the eye. First off, it's got like a light up bar on the front portion of it that is likely going to be used for motion detection and motion capture for the 3D camera. I know that a lot of people have been complaining about the grooves and the portions on how the PlayStation DualShock controllers up to this point have been. They don't like the fact that the triggers are curved downwards and that the thumbsticks are curved outwards and things like this. The PlayStation 4's thumbsticks and triggers fix this problem. The DualShock 4 thumbsticks will face inwards and the thumbsticks will go inwards as well. So it will be much easier to keep your grip on the system and keep your grip on the triggers and the analog sticks, which is great. I think that a lot of people are going to be excited about that. It also is going to come in the center with a capacitance touchpad. I don't know if it's going to be capable of display or things like that, but just be aware that that touchpad will be, who knows what games will be using that kind of touchpad. So it's really exciting to see about that. DualShock 4 controllers may be available at retail right now as I record this video. I've seen some retailers are selling it. They are compatible, from what I've been told, with PlayStation 3s. I think that's kind of exciting. In fact, I've also heard that the DualShock 4 is compatible with PCs as well, which is also kind of exciting. So take for that what you will. You might be able to find DualShock 4s at retail right now. I don't know exactly how much they cost individually, unfortunately, but if you find them at retail, just post a comment and tell me how much that they are. I think that's kind of cool. So there's really no reason to keep your DualShock 3s around, or if you have your, God forbid, you have Rumble-less 6-axis controllers still, possibly consider upgrading. I think that's kind of exciting, kind of interesting. The new system itself is going to require a day 1 firmware update in order to give the user most of the features that the PlayStation 4 is going to be offering us. In particular, the new firmware update will be required for multiplayer play. My guess is that the version 1.0 firmware that's out right now is going to ship with the console is probably reviewers firmware, likely used to kind of prevent anybody other than reviewers from making much use of the system, or further than just being able to play single player games on it. A lot of the features though that are going to be given to home users and things like that, probably we're going to have to wait, will be made available at the system's launch. Kind of like how Nintendo held back Wii compatibility with the Wii U until the Wii U's launch date came around. I think that's kind of cool. It still kind of sucks that you still have to download 300 megabytes, but yeah, for some networks that may not take that long. Hopefully it doesn't get too bogged down. The new 300 megabyte firmware update will include not just multiplayer, but second screen capabilities with your smartphone. Unfortunately, though, the PlayStation app will not be available at launch. I don't think it's coming out until the 22nd of November, but Sony has said that their new PlayStation app will be coming to iOS and Android devices. No mention of Windows phones. I wonder why, but maybe they're going to do that as well. You should be able to control second screen stuff from there, and I think that's kind of exciting. It's probably going to work very similar to how Xbox Smart Glass works on the Xbox 360 and will be working on the Xbox One. The funny thing is that Sony originally announced that they were going to be doing a PlayStation app years ago. Heck, probably about a year before before Xbox announced Smart Glass. I thought that was kind of interesting because they never released it in North America. I think it was because of the PlayStation hack. I think the PlayStation hack stopped its release in the United States, which is very disappointing. I was really hoping for that app. Heck, by this point, Nintendo's Miiverse can be accessed from your smartphones and things like that, although probably with a web page. So a little disappointing, a little disappointing on Sony's part, but I'm at least happy that this app is coming. You'll be able to download it on November 22nd, so be aware of that. Also, other features that are coming with it, the party chat, most of the multiplayer capabilities that go along with it, like party chat, 8-way things, the communications, that sort of thing will all be added in the firmware update. Stock PS4s won't be able to party chat just yet. Other stuff, oh God, what else is coming? The automatic download features and the streaming features and stuff like that. One thing that isn't coming, which was going to be a major feature of the system, and it will not be available at launch, unfortunately, is the total system standby, where if you turn off your PS4, it completely saves your game state, shuts down, and then loads a game state from standby, kind of like how your PC does. Unfortunately, that's not going to be available at launch, and it won't be coming with a firmware update just yet. Although Sony does still promise that it'll be available down the road. So after all of that, what are you going to need in order when you plug it in, when you plug in your PS4 for the first time? You will need to download the new firmware update. You're probably also going to need to create a PlayStation Network account. If you've already got a PlayStation Network account through your PS3, your PSP, your PS Vita, or something like that, that should be able to carry over. Just be aware, multiplayer, even with the firmware update, will not be usable on anyone other than PlayStation Plus subscribers. So you're going to need to pay the $50 a year or $9.99 a month or something like that in order to play PlayStation 4 games online. Really disappointing, but that's just going to be how it is. If you already are a PlayStation Plus subscriber or something like that, that will carry over. So don't worry about having PlayStation Plus on, not transferring. You'll be able to use this as long as you use the same account that you have on your PS3. That will carry over, and I think that's pretty cool. What games are going to be out at launch? Well, first off, let's be talking about the exclusive games that'll be out for the title, exclusive titles that'll be out for the PS4. The big one, at least I think, is going to be Knack. Knack was a title that was first announced when the PS4 was announced back in February. It's kind of like a cartoonish type game in the same vein as like a Ratchet and Clank or something like that. You play as a little robot that has the ability to take other broken objects and stuff and absorb it into himself to make himself bigger. I think that's kind of cool, and it's really designed to show off all the physics capabilities of the PS4 and things like that. So it was really exciting to see it in action. That will be a launch title for the system, $59.99 US. Full retail game. It's also going to be downloadable, so just be aware of that. If you prefer to download the game through the PlayStation Network store, you can certainly do that. Other games that are going to be out is going to include the new Killzone. I'm not much of a Killzone fan, but Killzone was another game that was announced at the PS4 launch, announcement. It's going to be a launch title. Killzone has been ubiquitous with the PlayStation platform probably since the days of the PS2, so kind of exciting to see what is going on there. As for multi-platform games, Assassin's Creed 4 is going to be the big one. That is coming out on all other platforms, although Sony does say that their version of Assassin's Creed 4 for the PS4 will be the best version. They've got some exclusive content that's going to be out for that version, things like that. That could just be hype, but I think that there is going to be some exclusive DLC available for PS4 and PS3 owners, so just be aware of that. The other big multi-platform game that's going to be available at launch is Battlefield 4. Although that will be out on the Xbox One, PC, it'll be out on other platforms as well. So again, just be aware of that. But those multi-platform games will be available at the PS4's launch. So if you're interested in picking up any of those, unfortunately, the games that I'm really looking forward to, well, my sister's husband is now really looking forward to Drive Club. Not my type of game. I'm not much of a racing fan. He really wanted to see that game. He's a huge Gran Turismo fan, but unfortunately, that's just not going to be a launch title anymore. That's been delayed until next year. The game that I'm really looking forward to is Infamous Second Son. That's not going to be a launch title. That's not going to bring out until probably February 2014. I am planning on picking up a PS4 for that game alone, but since the game is not going to be a launch title, there's no reason for me to pick up a PS4 at launch. I'm going to wait for Infamous Second Son's launch to pick up a PS4. So there's that as well. I know that a lot of other people were excited about Ubisoft's Watch Dogs, which is going to be another multi-platform title. Again, that's been delayed until 2014. Again, I think Sony has said that the PS4 version of Watch Dogs will be the best version, but that's unfortunately not going to be out until 2014, so we don't exactly know. It's been delayed. So there's just a taste of what to expect for those of you who may be interested in a PS4. Those are the games that are going to be available at launch. Those are some of the games that you can be looking forward to. Those are the things that you're going to need to be aware of. My recommendation is on the PS4, if you're going to pick up one at launch, for me personally, I would pick up Maniac. I'd probably pick up Assassin's Creed 4. It looks like that's going to be the best version. If you're a fan of anything else, Battlefield, if you really want to play Battlefield, obviously. If you're a fan of Shadow, of Killzone, then pick up the new Killzone. It looks like it's going to be a great launch, and it's going to be this, it's going to kick off one heck of a cool Christmas season. So, I gotta say, unfortunately, we're not going to be having one. Unless I win. Oh, by the way, there is just like I mentioned on the last video about Mountain Dew and their Xbox One promotion, there is going to be a PS4 promotion from Taco Bell in the form of the $5 box. You may have seen the commercials online, and it's actually a pretty good commercial, actually, about a bunch of soldiers about to go into a battlefield, and they find that the battlefield has already the battle's already over, and everybody's just kind of sitting there. It's like, yeah, we got our consoles a week early or something like that. It's an every 15 minutes promotion or something along those lines for the Taco Bell. Anybody who picks up a $5 box, any type of $5 box, will have on their $5 box at Taco Bell include a unique identifier code, which they can then text message to Taco Bell servers, which will automatically enter them into a every 15-minute type promotion. They'll get a response back from Taco Bell, whether they won or not, and that's pretty much it. Unfortunately, you can, even though it's an every 15 minutes promotion, you can only enter once per day. So just be aware of that. If you like Taco Bell, you can go there every day and pick up in my area, there's only 2 different $5 boxes, so you probably get bored with it after a while. But just be aware of that. There is a Taco Bell promotion. They did do something similar with the PS Vita's launch, but I can tell you this right now. I actually have a review of it on my site. This is a much better held promotion. I know you'll be required in order to have at least a phone with a text message plan, which can cause some people to have headaches because, text plans cost money. But let me tell you something, it's a hell of a lot more convenient to register the code through text message than it was to register through Taco Bell's website. So just be aware of that. No app to download. It can be done on any text-capable phone. And you actually hear back pretty quickly whether you won or not. So that's something. Whereas opposed to some people, even if they won from the PlayStation Vita site, they didn't really win. The site was broken. They were having problems. I haven't had any problems. You can't hear back that I keep losing from my $5 box. So take for that what you will. So November 15th, PS4 is launching. I'm not going to unfortunately be picking up a PS4 at launch. I just can't afford one. Sorry. Sony, if you're watching this, you're welcome to send me one. Just check out my website, gameaccess.net. I will be doing plenty of PS4 content, and I will be reporting on PS4 games on my website, PS4 or no, at launch. So just be aware of that. Until next time, guys, take care. This is Maniac with gameaccess.net. Enjoy your new console season. See you next time. Over and out.